Hi everyone, and welcome to the Career Chat Show with me, Yanmo. On today's show, we are going to discuss your work as your identity or not your identity. In my opinion, I do not believe that your work, your job, the role that you do is your identity. I don't believe it at all. It's something that you do and can do and you're paid to do, but it doesn't mean that that is what you're all about. It's not who you are. It's just something that you do, right? Now, oftentimes, when you ask somebody what do you do, they actually tell you their title. So, for example, what do you do? Oh, I'm a doctor. Well, that's a title. What you do is you save lives. Your identity is not in the title. What you do is you save lives, right? But oftentimes when you ask the question, what do you do? People actually tell you their job title. So I'm a lawyer, I'm an accountant, I'm an engineer, I'm a project manager, I'm a business analyst. Well, that's just the title. So because we've been, I don't know whether we've been programmed or because we say it oftentimes, we actually are now merging our identity to our job titles, and that's not the case. That's not what it should be. You actually go into an office, you provide service, you provide services, and in exchange they pay you, right? So, but that's not your identity. Your job title is not your identity. What you do on your job is also not your identity. Now, how are you able to delineate between you not making your job your identity and living a wholesome life? Well, I'm going to be sharing some strategies with you. The very first thing is you have to cultivate personal hobbies. You need to have personal hobbies that are outside of work. So for example, knitting. You'll be like, Yanmo, knitting? Yes, knitting, or cooking, or hiking, or painting. These are other things that you do that you don't get paid for. They're outside of the work realm. They're outside of the work environment, right? But you have to cultivate, hobbies that don't affect your job. And the reason you do that is because there's just so much to you. There's the human being is so multi-dimensional. There's so much to you that what you do on a 6 to 8 hour day job is not who you are 100%, right? So cultivate personal habits. The other thing is you need to set boundaries between your work life and your non-work life, right? And what does those personal boundaries look like? It just means that you have to let your employers know, or your team members know, that this is this is what you do. Now, I'm not saying don't do extra work. I'm just saying that there has to be clear boundaries. So for example, many years ago, I worked for a financial organization. I would get to work really, really early. I would also leave late. I'll get to work about 7:30 in the morning. And I'll get home about 7:30 in the evening. And then I'll work till about 11 p.m., 12 midnight. And my boss will actually be texting me, right? Okay, this report, that report, and honestly, I didn't know what I know now. I didn't have any clear boundaries whatsoever, because if I did, my boss wouldn't be texting me. I definitely won't also be working till 11 p.m. or midnight. And then, I'm up really early at the crack of dawn to only start, the journey commuting into the office. So what am I saying? You have to ensure that your boundaries are very, very clear. If at the interview stage, they tell you that they expect you to do overtime, if that's okay with you, that's fine. But usually when they expect you to do overtime, you're getting paid for the overtime. I wasn't getting paid for the extra 4-5 hours I was putting into this particular job. I wasn't paid for it, right? And I started to burn out. I really started to burn out. Because I didn't understand the importance of setting boundaries. So in order for your work not to be your identity, or for you to just, throw yourself into it and make it all encompassing, you have to set clear boundaries, and you have to let the people that you work with, you have to let them know, right? Also, you have to invest in relationships outside of work. Now, I know that people of color tend to have a lot of relationships, acquaintances, friendships, outside of work, but generally, I think this this is something that we really need to be intentional about investing in, because these people outside of work can bring a level of saneness, right, to our lives, and also just tell us when we are going off track. But if you don't have those relationships, if you don't have people outside of work, if the only relationship you have are your professional relationships, then you're going to suffer this work identity crisis, right? So ensure that you're investing in your personal relationships that are outside of work. And it's not to say that you cannot have relationships within the work environment where you guys are actually friends outside of work. You can. It's rare, I think, but you can. But usually it's just better to have friendships that are not work related. Hi, I'm Yanmo. I'm your career expert and a Forbes Coaches Council member. If you're watching this, you're likely feeling frustrated, feeling stuck and unsure how to advance in your career. You know you want more, but you're not quite sure how to go about it. Well, fret not. What I have done is I have put together a 2-day live Advance Your Career Challenge where I will walk you through the strategies that you require to move from where you are to where you need to get to, so that you can thrive, you can add value, you can earn the money that you require, and you can start living a fulfilled life. If that's you and you're interested in the challenge, then click the link below this video and sign up for the challenge. It's 2 days, it's live. I'm going to walk you through it, and guess what? There's 100% money back guarantee. If you don't get any value from the challenge, if you feel that the challenge didn't work for you, you get your money back. So based on that, you have absolutely nothing to lose. Absolutely nothing to lose. So click the link below and sign up for the Advance Your Career Challenge. I look forward to seeing you in the challenge so that you can start thriving and advancing in your career. I'll speak to you soon. Bye. The other thing as well is you need to pursue personal development and learning. This is so important, because the more you increase your awareness and you develop yourself, the more you're going to know what you're capable of doing, and you're also going to know at the end of the day, it's just a job. That's the truth, right? As a careerpreneur, you know that you want to succeed, but it is just a job. And when I say it's just a job, I don't mean it's just a job in terms of demeaning what you do. I mean, it is a job whereby, as an entrepreneur, for example, I've done a video about, careerpreneurs versus entrepreneurs. But as an entrepreneur, you eat, live, breathe your business. As a careerpreneur, you don't eat, live, breathe the job. And I guess that's the difference, right? You're able to put your best foot forward, do really good work, and walk away knowing that you've done the best, you've done the best for that day or for the month or for the quarter, and you walk away, right? And then the other thing is you really need to define your values and your priorities. It's so important. I didn't know anything about values. I didn't know anything about priorities. I just wanted to do really good work. I would show up. I was conscientious. I was diligent, and I really did do a good job, even though I do say so myself. However, I didn't understand that I had to define what my values were and what my priorities were. So it's really important that you take the time out to define your values and your priorities. And the last thing I would say about this is you need to celebrate non-work achievements. So what do I mean by that? If you've run, a half marathon, if you volunteered somewhere and they applauded you or they gave you some form of recognition, you need to celebrate that. It's really, really important, because we just wait to be celebrated in the work environment, and that's not really good enough. I have a friend who recognition is one of her core values, but I realized very quickly in speaking with her that she wanted to be recognized in the work environment. She wanted to be recognized for the things that she had contributed to the success of the project, the team, and everything, right? And when she wasn't being recognized, she didn't like it. Now, that is her core value. One of her core values, recognition. But I think there is a balance, right? If you celebrate your own achievements, you're giving yourself that recognition as opposed to waiting for somebody else to recognize you. Now, am I saying somebody else recognizing you is wrong or is bad? No. This is why people win awards. You have the Oscars, you have the Grammys, right? So it's good for, for your colleagues and your industry experts to recognize you. However, you also have to recognize yourself by celebrating your milestones and celebrating your successes along the way. So all I'm saying is this: your job, your role, your work is not your identity. You should learn to detach yourself from it, especially as a careerpreneur. And I really believe that is one of the advantages that we have as careerpreneurs, whereby, yes, we're doing good work, yes, we're diligent and we're conscientious, but we don't have to go to bed thinking about the work, thinking about the job, thinking about the report. And if you find yourself going to bed, thinking about the report, thinking about next week's meeting, then I think you really need to start setting clear boundaries and priorities for yourself. Well, I hope you have found that helpful. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button below and click the bell notification so you get notified every single time I upload a new chat show. Let me know in the comments below, are you one of those people that you say, oh, my work is my life, my work is my life? That's a statement I have heard before in the past. Are you one of those people, or are you one of those people that you do good work but you also have a life outside of your 9 to 5 or outside of your job? Let me know in the comments below. Until the next chat show, God bless you.